VFW only if people are like driving by and happen to see like the easy ups up there and stop.
Okay, so I'll go back in, or maybe I'll have Kelly help me to edit the TEO posting, because I said like start at the V with breakfast, grab a map. And I linked to like the Historic Society, the library, the rail trail, I think, because, you know, Facebook's not my thing. But
yeah, well, because there was issues with printing, whatever, I'll tell you later.
Thank you so much. This is the April 23rd meeting of the Master Plan Committee. We have a quorum and we'll open at 8:40. And I think I don't think I have any additions or deletions. If Andrea, I know you thought that I've left something off the agenda. Was that just the call to order?
The call to order and the roll call.
Okay, thank you. So we will do a roll call of the members present. We just go ahead, I'll call you off. Andrea, you're first on my screen.
Andrea Wood, present.
Karen.
Aaron Clement, present.
Bill.
Bill Rideout, present.
And I'm Kim Craven, and I'm present. And we have a guest as part of our process, Karen Chapman from Montechusett Regional Planning Commission. Thank you all for being here this morning. The first point of order would be the review of the past minutes. I sent those along. Bill, you did just an amazing job with the minutes. So before we actually go to approve the minutes or review them, do we have a clerk for this meeting?
Well, I'll probably take over this time. Bill did it the last.
Thank you, Karen. Okay. So now with the review of the minutes from Bill from March 20, was it 23rd or 25th? I'm up right now.
That's over here.
Let's see. Everyone just, okay, March 25th. Yep. If everyone could just take a look at those, let me know if there's any additions or deletions or anything that you want changed. Right. So is everyone set with them, or does anyone have a question?
I'd like a motion to accept the minutes from March 25th.
Second.
Thank you, Bill. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, wonderful. So, Bill, do you want me to zip those off to Kathy?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
I will certainly do that. Okay, so I had included you all as a CC of an email that I had sent to the town administrator, legal counsel. I put a copy on record with Kathy. I believe I CC'd Carolyn as well, and Lance McNally as chair of the planning board. As you all know, we had spent a considerable amount of time being thoughtful with our comments, and Cindy's having a problem logging in. Hang on 1 second. Hi, Cindy, I'll re-email it to you. Okay, bye. Sorry about that. That we had thoughtfully gone through sort of page by page, asked our questions. There was incorrect information. There was information that we had requested in our RFP that didn't come through to us. We had provided that to the vendor, FXM. And I had called a few times. When I called last, this was around the time of our last meeting. And he said that he had been on some bigger deadlines and that he would get to it. In the meantime, somehow that bill went to the Board of Selectmen, despite that I had had significant conversations with Adam and Karen. You were there on the common. We had described what was going on.
Right.
It was stated at that meeting that we at the common had decided to pay that invoice, which was not accurate. But the board did vote to pay that bill. I quickly wrote the email asking that that not happen. I never did hear back. I did call down to the treasurer's office to ask. At that point, it had not been paid. So I asked if it could not be paid. Haven't heard back. So my worry is that now they have been paid and they are never going to give us the revised or corrected information. So any thoughts on next steps?
So looking at the, from both sides here, there is a time pressure to get this master plan out.
Yes.
And we've been trying to get a better business plan from FMX for months now. I just wonder if it's just not worth, just saying, okay, let's go with what we've got. And, and is it really worth delaying the master plan to get an improvement that's probably going to be pretty slight if he does anything at all? I mean,
Yeah.
the cost benefit doesn't seem to be worthwhile pursuing this forever.
I agree with you in that regard, Bill, for sure. What I'm most distressed about is that the money was given to the master plan committee, and any other time that we've had to get a bill, the approval comes in front of the committee and we sign off on it. I'm very upset that we were granted money based on our request at town meeting. And I guess I just want this sort of on record that we did not approve the plan, that it was outside of us that went ahead and paid that. But I agree, even at this point, if they gave us something, I think that FXM, fell down on answering our scope, gave us sort of what they wanted. And yes, we kind of work around it at this point.
I mean, we do have good solid material about, improvements to the, the town bylaws that could help the economy from the other part of that study. FMX's part wasn't that good, but let's go with the stuff that we do have that is good and get it out.
Yeah.
That's my feeling.
So I agree with that. I'd like to hear, Andrea, Karen, any thoughts on what Bill brought up? Any thoughts on the path forward? Any thoughts on sort of further codification that this actually was not approved by us? I just feel in this world that it does come back to us, and there was an incomplete product that was now paid. I sort of, I guess on my watch, want someone to know that we didn't actually approve that document.
I was surprised when I was listening to the meeting the selectmen's meeting, when the bill came up, and I believe they voted to pay it, but I ignored it because that's taking part of our day-to-day business. And I didn't believe that they could take money from our account to do that. So I thought if the bill has gone forward, I sort of believe that it's still just sitting there like it was before.
maybe it has. Would you be able to help follow up with the treasurer's office to see where it stands right now?
Oh, sure. It's budget time. Everybody hates me already, so it's fine.
Well,
That's your job, Andrea.
I appreciate you doing that, Andrea, because you were the one that first alerted us to the process where we had to sign off in order for the bill to be paid because it was granted to the master plan committee, and you worked with Lori at that time to get that form that we had at the meeting.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Right. Kim, question for you. If it has not
Yes.
been paid, what are we going to do? Let's have a discussion on that.
So I think that if it has not been paid, my recommendation, and I'm just one person on this committee, with it, then we just write another letter to the vendor and say that, we have not approved this for payment. We have not received the requested documentation, and then leave it at that. And obviously that would have to go through, Adam's office, I would think, legal counsel. But I would certainly write that letter if that was the feeling of the board, and just give it to the Board of Selectmen. And then what happens after that, I guess, is out of our hands, but at least I feel like we've done our due diligence.
When you contacted them in the first place, where did you find them?
So doing a search of economic development plans. And so it was sent to vendors that came up in that search.
All right, because they must advertise somewhere. And I think, as a warning to everybody else, particularly towns our size, they may be wonderful in large towns and cities and stuff, but perhaps our experience should be publicized to warn other towns of our size of their inability to work with us.
Yeah, I wouldn't know where to go with that particular information, but certainly if there's something that you find, we can chat about that.
Okay.
Better Business Bureau, considering we
Yeah.
didn't get what was in the contract.
Well, there's that LinkedIn too that has businesses, and the MMA has a newsletter that has a lot of times recommendations for different companies to do different things. They don't just to let you make. I'll look into it.
Okay. Thank you.
There's no one here, right?
Yes, I was just going to take a break here. So adding to our members that are here today, Karen, Cynthia Donovan Schuster
Yes.
has joined us for the notes.
Okay, I can't see myself, but I am here.
Yes, that's okay. Because of bandwidth, I had to shut my video off as well.
Okay.
Okay. And so I guess as part of that, I should sort of delve into what is usable in that grouping. And Bill, as you said, Judy Barrett, who did the section on the bylaws, I think that is usable information.
Yes, I thought it was very positive.
Okay.
My feeling is, you can pursue that, maybe get something more for amendment, maybe, give them a bad review, but let's just move forward, assuming we're not going to get anything more from FMX. And if we do, it'll be so minor as to just be a slight change to the report. So I don't think we should wait.
Yes.
On any response from FMX.
I agree with that, Bill. And if in the end they, maybe the agreement is that they don't get paid their final payment and that goes back to the town budget, I would be completely fine with that, because I agree that if they wanted to really, sort of impress the client and give us a product that was in keeping with expectations and professional documentation, they would have done that. I think you're right. They're not going to. And so it's, yes, move on with what we can call out of it, but sort of have those other pieces in place that, our committee did not accept the report. And again, what the town does, but we're kind of, doing our, like I said, our due diligence with money that was granted at town meeting at our request.
I think that's a good idea, but we must be sure that we have everything fully documented and in order, so that if they don't get their last payment and go to sue us,
Yeah.
we would have that to present to council to show that there's no point in paying someone when they haven't done the job.
Yes. Okay. Let's move on to a better topic, and that's our chapter updates. Bill had updated the circulation and transportation. I sent that to everyone to just discuss this morning. Bill, just want to sort of give folks the sort of the methodology behind your updates and what new information you had that came to bear on that particular chapter.
Sure. So the town applied for a wintered shared streets grant, which they won for 180 some K, which is going to be a significant.
It's amazing.
And one of the things they did in order to prepare that grant was they hired an engineering firm to do some studying of the pedestrian and bicycling issues in the center of town. So I included some of that, some of their recommendations in the master plan situation. And basically, I simply extrapolated saying that the kind of study that they did for the center of town should be done for the entire town. Have an engineer come in and look at pedestrian issues, not just in the center of town where they were focusing, but in the harbor, Townsend Harbor, Harbor Village area. So since they did a good job, I thought that was something we should encourage the town to do townwide.
Okay. Thank you. And so looking at the updates that I sent to everyone, anyone have any questions for Bill? Anything in particular you want to review on that? Or do you feel that we're ready to share that with the planning board?
I will say that Karen Chapman, her map of the pedestrian and bicycle accidents in the town was a very powerful thing that I definitely would want to add in there before we share it.
Okay.
I got Karen's, I think, yesterday or something like that, but I thought that was a very powerful map that would really adds to the my general description of problems with pedestrians and bicycles. So that's the only suggestion I have. I'd like to add Karen maps into that chapter before we send it on, which I can do over this weekend.
Okay, that'd be wonderful, and then we can send it on to them. The map.
You can talk, Karen.
Oh, go ahead, Karen.
Sorry. So is the map satisfactory as it is, or are there any changes that you would like done before you put it into that chapter?
I didn't see anything. I don't know if anybody else looked at it, but I looked at it very carefully, and I thought it was very good and very powerful.
And just so you know, I didn't make the maps. Kayla Kress, our GIS analyst, made them. As much as I would have loved to make them. But
I'm giving you better credit anyway, Karen.
Well, Kayla wouldn't like that, but
all right.
But there were several maps that possibly could go into that transportation circulation chapter. There was the other crash locations and the traffic counts. Right.
Yeah. So I will put all of them in there.
So those are all good as they are?
So Karen, I'm going to have to write to Beth and to you, but I'll tell you now, is there a way to just put those in a zip file? Because is Microsoft SharePoint part of 365?
I have no idea.
Bill, do you know?
I got them. I downloaded them fine. Is that you're having a problem downloading them, Kim?
Well, just SharePoint, it asks for, I think it's I'm on Microsoft Office Professional, not 365. And so like I can't use Microsoft Teams. I have a hard time with SharePoint. I was going to another computer to do it, but that computer has gone past its prime and now just buzzes when I try to log into anything.
Well, Kim, I'll just email it to you then.
Okay.
Because I've got access to it, so. I have a Mac. So.
Okay.
Yep.
Can you put them into a zip file?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Yeah, if you zip them and send them to me, I can get them that way.
All right.
So the zip
Sorry,
that I
yeah.
said didn't work because it was SharePoint.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you said, I had a secondary computer for some of those things. But my main computer, I just, for whatever reason, Teams and SharePoint, and it's probably user error on my part somehow, but
I doubt it. I doubt it.
So thanks for doing that. Okay, so we'll add a map. Go ahead.
So Bill, all those transportation type ones are good.
Yeah, I didn't go over carefully the traffic count, but I'm sure that's fine.
Okay.
I like the rail trail being in there too.
I thought you would.
Okay, so the other chapter, the cultural and historic resources.
I didn't make any changes to that since our last.
Yeah. That's a fantastic chapter. So sounds like Karen, you liked the chapter.
Yes. Very good.
And Cindy or Andrea, did you have any changes to the historic or cultural resources chapter?
No.
No,
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so we'll send those two on to planning board. Then, so any other chapter updates? I still don't have the chapter from Dawn. Karen, would you help me reach out on that one?
What just refresh my memory, which one does he have?
He had the climate one.
Okay.
He had met with the energy committee and stuff before, and I know he was recontacting them.
Okay.
And so my next step, I think, is to just give, instead of going chapter by chapter, I think we've got enough. If I give everything out of the chapter that I'll pull out the chapter that has the bylaws in it, the zoning bylaws, and then anything else that I have, I'm just going to put on everybody's desk instead of doing it two at a time, especially because we had the blip on the last meeting. Is everyone okay with kind of getting that whole piece dumped? I know different times we're going to do it that way, and then we did a couple
Okay.
at a time. But I'm
You're,
just going to send you the rest of everything that I have that everyone sent in for review by committee members
okay.
so that we can push forward.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Then with that, Karen, I know you had some questions for us.
Yes.
Can you help me walk through those questions?
Yes. So they're actually Kayla's questions, but so for the regional contacts map, she wanted to know how far the extent should be. Like, do you want to include, like how far out do you want the picture? I mean, obviously we can do one that's just the state of Massachusetts and the little red thing that says this is Townsend, but this would factor in the other maps that we do for like median income for the surrounding communities to compare, and home values in the surrounding area to compare. So we just need to know how far out so we can gather that data.
So Karen, you're talking about a map that you have not sent us yet, right?
Correct.
Okay, good. Because I was going to say I can't find it. All right.
No, we didn't send it to you because we need answers to these questions.
So
Okay.
Karen, on this map, it's comparing housing, just.
So the first.
I missed
so
all
the-
that, so I need to write it down. Go ahead.
Okay, so the first part is a regional context map, which would probably go in your introduction or whatever, just wherever you're talking about what Townsend is, you would have a regional context map that shows where it is in relation to everything.
Okay.
And so that map would also be used, the extent of it, the number of communities, that would also be used to illustrate median income for each town in maybe the housing chapter or the economic development chapter. It would then also be used for median home values in the housing chapter. So we just need to know which communities around to collect the data for.
So do you think doing like a 20 or 30-minute drive would, or what
How about
might be your
everything that-
suggestion?
How about with the highways to 495 to Route 2? Because those are the locations that people will be getting on and off to get here. What do you think?
Well, I mean, I think you should include Ashby since it's part of our school district.
Oh, that's true. Yes.
Yeah.
It would definitely be the immediate abutting towns, which
All right.
includes, Brookline and
All right, so it includes New Hampshire then. Okay.
Yeah,
What
if
about abutters to abutters?
we can do that too. We'll do whatever you want to do.
Well, I mean, I think Leominster and Fitchburg are, important because it's our biggest population center nearby. So, so I think butters to butters, that would include Leominster and Fitchburg.
Yep. Okay.
I don't know if a butters to abut in New Hampshire, it's probably just the abutting towns.
Yeah, I wouldn't do more than the abutting.
Yeah, because I think we more likely go into Massachusetts and New Hampshire.
Okay.
Okay.
So to 495 and to Route 2. And then west as far as like Ashburnham.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
And as south as Route 2. Okay. And east 495, so that includes Littleton. Okay.
Well, yeah, because that's a very common route we drive.
Yeah.
Right. And that's considering you want those maps. Do you want median income maps? Do you want median housing value maps? So we haven't read any of the chapters, so we don't know what you're talking about in the chapters. So we don't know.
So
I'm mistaken, or did we actually see, I think, a bar graph about the medium income? Did I see that on an old one, or did we have that from somewhere from ours?
So we did have some information on the median income, but not for surrounding communities, I don't think.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what it is then. All right.
Yeah, I think that would put a different perspective. I think if a map was done on that, would we be able to get the corresponding table that the information was drawn from?
Sure.
Okay.
You want a data table that the map is based on.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
But I think one of the reasons we talk about the region a lot is, transportation issues. So I think the highways really are probably the most central point of the map. Where do we go for things?
Right.
Okay.
All right. Let me get back to the questions here. The second bullet was the housing values and median income. So she wasn't sure if you had already gathered that data and that you would use different sources than we would use.
The more consistency with your data, the better, I believe.
Okay.
What does other folks think?
I agree.
I agree that would be great, Karen, if you can do that.
Okay. And then the list of open space parcels with parcel numbers, do you know if conservation or I don't know who would have a list of the open space parcels? Just to confirm that the ones that Mass GIS has are accurate and complete.
So open space parcels, I can get that for you.
Okay. Thanks, Karen. I felt like we had that for solar, but Karen, if you know where it is quicker, that's way better.
No, there just may be updates. I'll have to contact somebody. I don't think that it's not online. It's something that they'll have to print out for me or email or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, I had kept it up to date as far as before I left. So
Yeah, but
it's
they've
just-
accepted. Yeah, they've accepted more parcels
Yeah.
since then. So,
Right.
well, hopefully it has been updated. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fish and
Okay.
Wildlife.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Well, the state, yes, there's been quite a few things that have been in discussion.
okay. Well, we would need that then.
Okay. Thank you, Karen, for doing that. When you get that, do you want to just email it to me, or do you want to email it to Karen Chapman with a CC? Either way is fine, whatever you
Yeah,
prefer.
I'll get it to both of you.
Okay.
Karen, I don't think I have an email for you though.
Okay. K Chapman
Yeah.
at mrpc.org.
Okay, that's easy enough. All right.
Yep.
Thanks.
Okay, the next one was historic points referred to in the plan. She has data for the 3 historic districts as well as many historic points in Townsend. If I try to show all the points, the map becomes extremely crowded. So I would recommend that only points that are referred to in the plan are shown on the map. The data is from Mass Historical Commission's historic inventory, and it can be viewed here. And she put a link for you to look at it. So I guess you'll have to look and see what you talked about in the historic and cultural chapters.
Yeah. Karen, what do you think would happen if there was a map broken down by village? Would that allow for more items to be placed on it?
Yes, I would think so, because you can zoom out.
Yeah. What does everyone else think of that, so that we capture? Some of
That's a good idea, because one of the recommendations is passing the CPA and perhaps having a historic commission and identifying more historic landmarks. So the general point that there are tons of historic and cultural resources in town, that's sort of like what I'd like the map to show. So basically as many as she could. My goal, because it talks about the fact we have so many that aren't fully documented yet. So
Yes.
I think the map being as crowded as
Right. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
Is actually the best thing to do.
Yeah, so separate into the 3 maps and then we can still have everything. That would be great if she's able and willing to do so.
So
If
I'm
it comes
thinking,
off as really dense, that's actually good.
yeah, I'm thinking that there's probably historic and cultural things that are outside of the actual historic districts themselves.
Mhm.
So maybe a 4th map that, shows those things that are outside the districts.
That would be perfect,
Amazing.
because that's exactly
Yeah.
what the plan is sort of shooting towards. Expand the whole town as a historic site.
Yeah. I love all those ideas. And
Okay.
Yeah, I think the group of us here are definitely feeling that that's something that needs to be really shared forward with folks, because I do think we don't capture it.
Yeah,
So I think those maps would be amazing.
it's stuff we say, but having a map like that is presents it more powerfully.
Yes.
So we also sent a list of the Townsend parcels with CRs. And she just wanted it checked so that if anything should be added or deleted. That was sent Wednesday to Beth, and she should have forwarded it to everybody.
Yeah.
You did send it, yeah. Of course, I had to write to Beth and ask her what CRs are because I'm. So now I know.
Okay, so that's probably something we'll have to check on.
Yeah, I don't know if any new ones have popped up, but conservation should know that.
Yeah.
Let's see, and the other maps. So,
Hey, Karen, just
Yes.
for the notes, Karen Clement, I'll call conservation on that one
Okay.
because someone has to do that task. And I actually wrote it down, so hopefully I won't forget.
Okay.
No, I won't forget. I'll put it in my calendar.
All right.
so Bill, did you review the other maps as well, or only chapters that you were working on?
Yeah, I really focused on the transportation and cultural ones.
Okay.
So Beth said that they can be shared from SharePoint during the meeting. Does anyone know how to do that?
No.
I can open them on my computer and share if you'd like.
Okay.
Just give me a minute to open them.
course. Wait, Karen, your backdrop's amazing.
Me?
Karen Chapman, yes.
Oh, it's just a cloth. What do you call them? I can't. It's Friday. My brain's not.
Curtain, backdrop,
Look
Shower curtain?
map, mural.
Tell it's cloth. Is it like a tablecloth?
Tapestry.
Is it supposed to be a tablecloth or
Tapestry.
tapestry? Okay.
Perfect.
Yes, you can see I have thumbtack to the ceiling. Let's see. Townsend. Do you want me to just go through each one?
Sure.
Right.
At least it will give everyone, a feel for it.
Right.
And then, Andrea, if you can't get into their SharePoint, or Cynthia, after Bill gives me the zip file, I can always put it on a thumb drive for both of you.
Okay.
Karen, I don't know if you can get in or not.
Okay. Yes, I do. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you, Hartley.
Can you all see that?
Yep.
Okay, it's very green. So this is the biomap 2, which is the endangered species habitat, core habitat, and critical natural landscape. This would, I assume, go in your natural resources chapter.
Yes.
She didn't want to put the other, the rare and endangered species on this map because it would make it way too busy. So it's a separate map. So whoever's doing that chapter, I assume would talk about this.
Yes.
Okay. Do I have to stop sharing and going back, right?
Right.
Unless you do just total share screen, not the one, and you should be able to click through them.
Oh, right. Okay. Okay. Share.
Do share screen instead of share the file.
I don't have that option. Oh, screen, yeah.
Yeah, it should be like screen, whiteboard, phone.
Okay. So this is bridges and dams. So I assume this would go into your transportation bill?
Just a second here.
She wasn't sure if,
Yeah, I was planning to put that in the transportation. I saw that.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Right. Then we have community facilities. So I didn't know if you wanted, so the icons in this one, other facilities shows up for like town hall and the post office and the schools, but they're just that little icon that's the same. I didn't know if you wanted different icons that, you know, the town hall icon, the school, you know, or if you're okay with it the way it is. Or if we missed any, I sort of went over this map with her while she was doing it and told her where I thought all the things were, so.
I think on this one, I mean, I can't zoom it up to totally see it, but I think this one might need a little more detail. And I'm wondering just aesthetically for people to kind of see more roads, if we put the green call out box up near the, like over the state forest.
Okay, so it's out of the way.
Yeah.
Up here.
Yes. Like
Okay.
up by the New Hampshire border.
Karen, question for you about the town map. Does your agency have an updated town map of our town? Because since you did it, there's been a lot of towns added, and I don't have anything online via the town.
Did you mean roads added?
Yeah, I was like,
I'm sorry, what did I say? Towns, yeah, not the towns, the roads.
so I mean, there's a street map online that I had made when I was there, and I think there's only been a couple of roads added. Since.
Right, that's 2012. No, there's a few.
Okay.
Yeah. So you don't have anything. I'm just curious if the city for some reason had something updated that the town didn't.
Well, I can, so you don't see those streets on this map.
I haven't even looked.
Which streets were you thinking of?
You know what? I'm doing the map around town, and
okay.
Carla at the Board of Health, not Board of Health, Board of Health said that there are ones that are missing, but I didn't get specific roads from her.
Okay.
But she said nobody's cleaning those roads anyway, so we're okay.
So were there other, you know, I we put all the fire stations and cemeteries and I don't know what else, what other facilities did you want to have TEO pointed out, or the churches, or I mean, it's really community, it's really town facilities.
Right.
Let me,
So, of course, I'm going to advocate for TEO to be on there, but I'm going to let the rest of the committee decide.
No, it's definitely, TEO is definitely a community facility.
Karen,
yes.
up here where Highland Street. Oh, now you made it smaller. I got to get it closer to my screen.
Wait a minute.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Highland Street. Now make it a little bit smaller. Okay. Wallace Hill Road, yeah, and Brown Road goes off of it.
Yeah.
Where's Old Meeting House Road?
Right here, where this tree is.
You didn't name my street?
What, you didn't name her house?
Oh, God forbid. The mansion.
We'll put a star there, Andrea Woodhouse.
No, I just wondered because up there's the park and the
Right.
old there are historic markers up there, so that
Right.
that was all.
Yes, your first schoolhouse marker on the rock is up on your road.
Yeah, and the first meeting house too.
Yes.
But I think that's in the historic cultural map.
So I'm named over on that map.
I'm not sure because the layer from the state may or may not have the street names, and depending on what Jesus, I can't think today. What
Too early. That's why.
Whether you zoom in or zoom out, it puts the names based on that. So, if you want
No,
is it something?
Oh no,
you-
I just was curious.
She's just being,
Yeah.
He's being Andrea.
she's just
And
being
then-
Andrea.
Here we're
All right,
back
so we
up
want to
with
add
Highland Street.
we want to add TEO to the map. Are we going to add the churches or not?
I would like to add the churches, Karen.
Okay.
We're back
Everybody
up,
happy about that? Okay.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
up here at Highland Street.
you.
You've got Wallace Hill Road, but the other side of it is something else. There's a name there, and it isn't. And then Proctor Road comes off of it.
Yep.
Well,
It does
Proctor
say-
Road's here, and then Wallace Hill, and then Townsend Hill. But yeah. This
Oh,
one-
okay.
this-
But Townsend Hill and Wallace Hill, what divides them is Highland Street.
You know,
Oh,
she's saying Wallace Hill's on the wrong side.
right. And that's the state's.
Map. Yeah.
But I'll see if Kayla can fix that.
But I mean, this isn't really the traffic map anyway. This is just where are things located.
Yeah, but if people are going to look for these things to locate those
Right,
things,
that's
it might
true.
be confusing.
Mhm.
Heaven knows I'm confused.
So Andrea, speaking of old meeting house, I mentioned to people, oh, you can get to the rail trail from Old Meeting House Road. And then I had all this confusion. Which one?
One.
How could there be more than one Old Meeting House Road? They had one person drive up it and said, all I found was this big stone monument, no rail trail.
Well, yeah, what long time ago
Uh,
there were coinciding addresses as well.
Oh, wow.
So it was a terrible mess, and it was supposed to be Old Meeting House Road, Old Meeting House Hill Road.
Hill
Like
Road.
this then confuses it, right? And Meeting House Hill Road. And I don't know if over time that has all just gone away to designate the three places or the three breaks in the street.
So these little guys with the shovels are supposed to designate public works. So obviously this is the highway department here, and this is the cemetery department, and this is the water department. Do you want them specifically called out as such?
Yeah. If we can use different icons. What does everyone else think? Yes, no?
Would it make sense to put a little number by each icon and then have a table?
Of what they actually are?
Oh,
Is that too much of a burden for you guys?
if it's not, that's a wonderful idea.
I can ask. I don't think it will be a problem because you just add a column to the attribute table and number them, and then just
And just have a table.
Well, it makes sense because then you
That's
actually
typically-
know what you're looking at, or the name of that cemetery or the name of that church. So I like that idea, definitely. So you can leave the guy with the
Yeah.
shovels. You just need to, if you
number him.
Number them.
Okay. Sounds good. Anything else on this one? Let me outdoor recreation. So
And I will just say the guy with the shovel, I'm guessing it looks different when you see it up close. But I couldn't tell what that was.
yeah, it's just a guy with a shovel.
Yeah.
I thought I got a broom, but there you go.
I don't know, or a baby snowblower. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Sorry. Let's go to. So do we need to look at the crashes and let's show everybody the
Yeah.
bike and ped crashes, because this was alarming to me as well.
Yeah.
When I first saw it, I was like, really? There's been that many? I mean,
Bush Cafe.
so do you want the call out thing up here again, like as a general rule?
Yes.
Okay.
And does it make sense to just keep it to a 10-year increment?
I was just going to ask, how long was this map or in effect?
It's 2008, I think.
Yeah, 8 to 19.
8 to 9.
2008 to okay.
That's. I don't think you need to make it any bigger because it's already pretty scary.
Yeah, I mean, that's horrifying to me.
Yeah. That's the map that my jaw dropped when I saw this one.
Right. I don't know if you remember a few years ago there had been, some pedestrian stings or whatever, helping pedestrians across with the PD. I don't know if you guys remember that, but
No.
Rick had used this kind of data to get that grant.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And I'm sure Jay does, but it's alarming, and but we all know why.
They actually used. I think they got the same data from MRPD for the Winter Shared Street grant.
Jeez, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and that was probably a very effective tool.
Yeah.
Okay. So this one's good.
Yep.
All right.
We need a little overpass. Pedestrian overpass.
Well, the rail trail will be done soon, right?
Well, plus they're trying for
Yes.
those rapid flashing lights are
Yes.
very powerful.
Hold on, Mom. I'm in a meeting.
So this is surficial geology. Would go in your natural resources, I
Yes.
assume, or even your
Official.
economic development, talking about development constraints or whatever. I don't know if you're doing that. So this is pretty straightforward. Comes right out of Mass GIS.
Wow,
I
I
guess
learned
my-
a new word
Wow.
today. Surficial is an actual word, huh?
Come on, Bill. You're a smart guy.
I deal with the atmosphere. That's dirt.
Beth had written a note that she was impressed with this map, and it's really interesting to look at this. I mean, like intuitively, we talk about these challenges,
Right.
but this is a great map.
So the question I have is, do you want it to be, do you want her to clip off Townsend so that you don't get the contours around Townsend, or is it good as it is? You know, because sometimes you want to see, oh, well, does that hill continue into the next town? But is that really important?
That is.
Because she can get rid of all of this so it doesn't look so busy on the outside.
No, I think
You think it's fine?
It's colored, because Townsend is colored in and the exteriors are not. It's quite clear where Townsend.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I like this one too. So this is the housing density. She did a heat map on this based on, she took the assessor's data and sorted out all the residential, and of course it's going to show Timberley Park and Pine Tree Haven and the condos and the center of town as the most dense areas, because for Timberley Park and Pine Tree Haven, the zoning was half acre at the time. So obviously those are going to be the denser places. But is this what you envisioned?
Just curious, Pine Tree Haven. I've only been in town for 30 years. Where's
I was just texting you, Karen, to say what is Pine Tree Haven.
So Pine Tree Haven is the area over off of Emery Road. This area here.
Oh, we just call it Little Timberley.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh, it's called Little. I see. I've only been in town 19 years. So.
I've always called it Emery Road. So
I've never ever heard Pine Tree Haven.
Nor have I.
That was the name of the development in the.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, if you go up on the third floor in the kitchen, you can look at the maps.
It'll show that. All right.
So an obvious.
Karen,
yes.
I have a personal favor for you. I would love to see this would be a great map, because we always talk about the rail trail serving the population densities in town.
Yeah.
Yes.
Any chance,
Yes.
even if you just stick the rail trail on this, or send a copy to me with the rail trail on it, because that would be an awesome way of getting our next grant.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I thought she was putting it on all of the maps. I've seen it on every one so far.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's the first one. It's like, oh, I really like the rail trail on that one.
Okay, so we're good with this one.
Yes.
Land use. So this is the current land use. Yeah.
That's clear.
I mean, it is what it is, you know. This would go in the land use chapter, obviously. Okay, and then you can talk about however many things you want to talk about on it, and then prime farmland. I mean, this is just a layer. It's a nice representation of where the farmland is. Some comments on those. Prime forest land, same thing. It's a state designation. Open. No comments. And so then this one is the priority and estimated habitats, separate from the biomap. So this can go in your natural resources chapter. Yeah, see the rail trails in that one.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yep.
That's like, okay, could you take the rail trail out? No, I'm joking. You know how much trouble we had because of that? Never mind.
Oh, and this is, will go in the transportation, the roadway classification. And traffic counts, watersheds and subbasins. This would go in your natural resources. Just shows the different basins. Obviously, we're in the greater Nashua River Basin with minor basins within. Wetlands and vernal pools. We have a great number of certified vernal pools in the town, which is great. Pretty much speaks for itself. And then zoning. And that's it for the ones that are complete. So based on your answers to the questions earlier, she can finish up the other maps and get those to you.
Nice.
But if you look at those maps later and discover things that you don't understand or don't want, just let us know and we can change them. I know you didn't all have a chance to look at them.
Kim, did you get the email I sent with the link to the maps?
I didn't have wasn't looking at email, but I will right this second.
Let me check my email to make sure that we're answering all the questions from Kayla. I think we did. So
Got it, Bill. Thank you.
Good.
when do you think, so you're going to want us to read all the chapters and review them?
Yes.
And what about data? Are you guys doing data as you go along?
So like our population, I mean, we have a ton of stuff that came in the workbook. So we have all of that came from you all.
Okay.
So I think it's more what we were talking about earlier. It's stuff that was in economic development. We had some questions about. So I guess we're just not going to use that. We'll either skip it, put a spot for it in case there's something that we didn't have from you that we needed for consistency.
Okay. And you're still looking to finish by the end of June?
Yes.
Okay.
We are not going. I think I have everyone's nodding head would be yes, we are finishing by June. We can't keep
And to
doing
be clear,
it.
it's June 2021. So.
Yes, June 2021.
So it's almost May now. So if you want us to read some of the chapters or all of the chapters, we need to be getting them soon.
So Karen, last time we discussed this and you said you wanted to wait until we had all the chapters before we send it to you.
Yeah. I'm just worried about time, having
Okay, yeah, we are too.
Well, Kim, can you send her the ones that we've approved and that we've reviewed, if that's okay with you, Karen?
Yeah.
Kim, yes? Kim?
I had myself unmuted. Yes.
So you'll just send her what we've already reviewed?
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, I think it'll be easier that way. I was initially thinking it would be good to read it as a whole, but each chapter is different. So
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So I'll
That
get you
sounds
the
good.
2 that I'm just adding maps to by the end of the weekend.
Okay.
I'll get them. I'll send them to Kim, and then
Yeah.
she'll forward it on.
Okay. Just looking at those maps makes me feel like it will bring what we have, like it makes it more vivid, I guess, for what we're trying to explain, brings it to reality. I think when people can look at some words and looks at maps.
Yes.
I mean, I definitely felt that with the transportation and the cultural resources.
Yeah,
So
and I
that'll
think
get
just-
to the cross so much stronger.
yeah, just for me, I feel like even seeing some of the maps create some language in my mind to add in the chapters,
Right.
the visualization of it. So it's a huge asset to have these. Appreciate the work and how quickly that some of this is coming to us. Appreciate that.
I
No
second what
problem.
Kim said. You guys did a really good job with those maps. I was quite impressed.
Well, we have professional people.
And we are very thankful for that.
Okay, so we talked a little bit of the assignment of work. Karen, you're going to try to find where Don is with his stuff, and then we might have to come to a plan B with that. The next thing I had a letter of support for the planning board. Beth asked if we could send a letter for this round of the municipal vulnerability grant. Is everyone okay with me sending that letter?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. And then Walk Townsend. On May 1st, there is an event where you'll have the opportunity to take a look at what is happening related to the pedestrian travel and prioritization of solutions. It starts at 10 o'clock at Town Hall. Introduction project overview, 10:15 to 11:15, there's a walking audit, and 11:15 to 11:45 is review the findings, come up with possible solutions, and wrap up. All residents, business owners, public officials are invited to come attend that event. The rain date is May 2nd. It's noted that this has been approved by the Board of Health. Masks are required. So if anyone is available, I have a very packed May schedule, but I'm going to see if I can't rearrange something to try to attend that. But if not, I'm sure someone will have good notes, and we're going to advertise it on TEO and TBA website as well. So if anyone else wants to help share it forward on the community Facebook pages, I'm sure that Beth would appreciate that. So I can send, it was originally a PDF, but she was kind enough to do a screenshot of it as a JPEG. So if folks don't have that, I can send that to everybody. I don't know if people were BCC'd.
I have not heard about this before.
Okay.
Is this related to the winter shared streets? Winter shared streets? That's hard to say. Grant? Or is this a bigger thing?
I'm going to read what it says, except for now it won't come back up. Oh, darn it. I was just going to try to reopen the file, and it said file type not supported. Yeah. I don't know the answer to that, but I'll just send you a message.
If you just want to send it out to us, the PDF or the JPEG, whatever you can get.
Yes.
Whatever opens.
The flyer is on the website.
On the town's website?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll still send the email for folks to have as well. But it
I
does
didn't
seem
know
like,
about this, and I worked there. I had no idea this was going on.
well, I'm glad I brought it up.
Yeah.
Try to dutifully bring up what Beth sends me. So I guess this was definitely, like I said, a good one to share forward. So I think it's really an exciting time, though, that, there's been more emphasis on pedestrian safety in the past few months that I wish had been around for when, Bill, your group was starting out.
Right.
Because it just, what you guys are doing is so important relative to, walkability and safety for folks in our community. So I'm glad that the attention's getting there, and maybe, some of the big wish list things are going to start getting chipped away at, which I think would be wonderful.
Okay, I may share this for the rail trail committee too, because it's, obviously it's going to touch upon the rail trail. So.
Yeah, and like I said, I have a really packed May, but it's super important to me. So I am going to try to move some things around to try to do that. So on our calendaring, When do folks want to try to meet again? Here's the 20. Does anyone know what's happening with town meeting?
Yes.
What is?
Town meeting is on Saturday, May 8th at 1 o'clock at the library, outside, rain or shine.
Wow.
Nothing's online yet, though.
Okay.
What time, Karen?
1 o'clock.
Thank you.
1 o'clock.
Next week for me is school vacation with the kids. Not going anywhere, but it gets distracting.
Yeah, anything we need. So 1 week, 2 week, May 8th. What do you guys think of like May 12th or 13th? 12th is that Rail Trail, Bill?
Just a second here.
Look at my calendar.
I have the library on the 12th at 7.
What day did you say, Kim?
12th or 13th, but 12th is out. What about the 13th?
13th is fine with me.
Okay. Hartley, can you check the 13th?
That week is good.
But we wouldn't be able to meet if they're meeting.
Right.
Is what is Tuesdays are really hard. What is May 10th or 17th look like, Hartley? I don't know which cadence is for the planning board. What do you guys think about Friday the 14th in the morning?
I babysit, but I can. He's on the go a lot nowadays, so I could try. You'll
Maybe
just.
you'll have good input. So there you go.
Yeah. I told Cindy to put Sadie on with me this morning. I haven't talked to her in a while.
Yeah, we were literally, when you sent me the text, she was literally getting out of my car to get on the bus. And I had a 9 o'clock appointment. Well, I had people coming here at 9 o'clock, but they were a no-show, so that worked out well. That's why my timing was confused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you want to try 8:30 to 9:30? I know we were a little bit longer today because we were able to review the maps, but do you want to try that on the 14th?
I can make it.
I'll be probably a little bit late, but I can make it.
Okay, Andrea?
I
Okay.
can make it.
Okay. Hartley, is that okay with you? Okay, wonderful. Anything that I've forgotten for today?
So I'll try to have the rest of the maps to you before then.
Okay.
And if any chapters get sent to us, we'll try and get those reviewed by then.
Yes, I accidentally used the wrong one. Yeah. Okay.
So Kim, are there any to-dos in other chapters that are not yet ready or that?
I feel like there are. Should I parcel those out just over email with folks?
I don't have a problem with that. I mean,
Okay.
as I say, the rail trail is quiet until next fall. So I do have time if there's something I understand, but not all topics are my specialty.
Yeah, at least if I kind of go direct to each one of you who I think might be able to lend some information in that area. And then if not, we can collaborate on that on the 14th.
Well, that would be good because if you can do it within a couple days, maybe we can all chip in and get most of it done that we need to get done by the 14th too.
14th.
Right.
Yeah.
That would be ideal, especially if we're shooting
Yeah.
for the end of June here. So
Yes.
Yes.
And Karen, you're going to look for the open space list?
Yes, I will do
Okay.
that today and hopefully get it to you. No guarantees.
Okay. All right.
all right.
Okay.
Is it my turn then, Kim?
It is.
I move that we close the meeting at 9:53.
I'll second that.
Wonderful. Thank you, everyone.
We're just wrapping up. Okay.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.